You've probably heard about using filters for photography before, and most commonly we use them to block light and create long exposures, or balance the contrast between sky and foreground, or maybe even to shoot infrared. But there's plenty of other filters around for all sorts of creative results, and here I have exactly a pair of those. So what do these filters do? They take one direct source of light, such as stars, lampposts, etc., and convert this consistently and reliably into a 4 or 6 pointed star, depending on the filter you use. And the brighter the source of light, the greater the effect. Now, I believe these filters were first created with astrophotographers in mind, to add a sort of fairy tale effect to the night skies. But they have since been adopted by landscape and cityscape photographers as well. And you can get interesting results in other genres like street photography, or even with portraits if you use, for example, some glitter and a strong light. Anyway, you often find this starburst in photography and the cool effect to see in an image, rather than a boring dot of light. But the way to produce them without a filter is very much dependent on the lens you use, and in some cases it can't happen at all, like with some long zoom lenses. The result can also be unpredictable as it varies with different lens builds, and in some cases you have to close the aperture so much, because that's how to create a starburst, that you end up ruining the photo altogether. And now, if you have questions on how to create this starburst with your camera, I'm happy to answer in the comment section. But here I want to talk about a neat solution that even works at fast apertures like f1.4, and that's the Hoya Sparkle filter. Of course, as soon as I received the filters, I immediately went to test these at Harrods here in London, because, well, you know, lights. And so here you can see a quick comparison between using no filter at all, using the 4x filter, and using the 6x filter. And again, here's other comparisons in other parts of central London. Now, I personally like the effect you achieve with the Sparkle filter. But most importantly, I love how consistent and reliable the results are. And a very nice feature of these filters is the possibility to rotate the glass, like you would do in a polarizer, for example, and thus change the orientation of the stars that you produce. And this gives you complete creative control on the output, and you can even do so in the middle of a video for some very unique results. Now, I don't know if this was intended, as it's not advertising the filter page on the Hoya website. But these filters also work as a subtle soft diffuser that adds a dreamy effect and can make your images more cinematic, so to speak. And speaking of cinematic, the first content I produced after I received the Hoya Sparkle was actually a short film. I found out straight away that these filters are actually very fun to use in video, and they produce interesting results. And you often hear filmmakers talk about how filming with anamorphic lenses is cool because it produces this beam of light, usually horizontal. But I believe that being able to consistently show starry lights is also a very nice feature and a very nice characteristic of this filter. I don't think the Hoya Sparkle was intended for video, but it actually works pretty well if you ask me. And so these filters are available in different sizes from 49 to 82mm, and personally I went for the 77mm, which is the largest diameter among my lenses, and I use ring adapters with the smaller ones. Even on the 23mm f2, which is 43mm. I mean, okay, it looks a bit ridiculous, but it does the job brilliantly. And so let me know in the comments below if you like these filters or if you have any more questions about them. Also, go watch the short film I made with them, which is also linked below, and give both videos a thumbs up, subscribe to support this channel and help me make more videos. Thank you very much, and I see you in the next one. Bye!